movies running on DVD because today.
Hello, sinners. It is I, Father Evil, and I invite you to Destination Station on YouTube.
Bagels and go to Destination Station. This buddy is the bomb.
Yep.
Love him.
Yep.
Fucking A.
Yep.
I had to say that for a reason.
Freddie, take that, motherfucker.
All right. Okay. Fuck you. Yeah. Jamie Kennedy. Subscribe to my man, Destination Station, right now if you want the best content.
What's up? Welcome to Destination Station. As always, I'm Destin. Thank you for clicking on this video. Subscribe to Destination Station if you want Scream, Halloween, and everything in between. And Thanksgiving is another holiday horror slasher that is on the rise, just like we just saw last week. It's a Wonderful Knife. I like this. This is coming from Eli Roth, so you already know what you're getting into if you know any of his past work. This was a fake trailer on the Grindhouse movies that Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino put out back then.
This holiday season, prepare to have the stuffing scared out of you. Thanksgiving.
And they didn't go with that same exact style that they did, that Grindhouse look or whatever. I thought maybe they would have done some type of touch of that within the movie, but the movie is pretty digital. It looks really good. You know, it's very sharp, it's clean, it's done professionally.
Let me get to the damn fucking part.
But this movie is a lot of fun. If you are a slasher whodunit type of fan, like myself, or if you're not subscribed to this channel, you should do so because that's what we talk about all the time. But this movie just scratches that itch that we've been wanting for a while. You know, like we've had some pretty good horror this year. Not some of it fell flat, but we haven't really had too many stinkers. You know, but this movie was so cool. It was so cool to see like the return of Patrick Dempsey back to the horror genre. You know, he just got Sexiest Man of the Year. That was like convenient for this movie, so it was like they doubled down on showing him in the trailers, you know, like once that was dropped, and I thought that was kind of funny. But like I was like, oh awesome, Detective Kincaid from Scream 3 is back in a law enforcement role, and I didn't know how predominantly his role was going to be because I didn't know if the marketing was just tricking us with that. But it's there. He's there all the way through it. He's like almost like our Dewey of the Scream movies in a way. And that's what Eli Roth said. He said he wanted to make his Scream, his Halloween type of movie. And he finally did with this, and he just calls it Thanksgiving, just like Halloween is called Halloween. So I'm just waiting for someone to make a movie just called Christmas. I'm actually thinking about just writing a movie, a slasher called Christmas, and coming up with something. But you know, we have some very familiar faces in here. We got some TikTokers, Addison Rae's in here. We got Rick Hoffman in here. I mean, Gina Gershon, she's in here. You know, like it's fun. It's fun. This movie is not to be taken too seriously. There's a lot of carnage candy in here. There's a lot of killing. The John Carver, this whole entire look and killer with an axe is brutal, fast. He's very, very agile, I guess you would say, you know, instead of being like a slow walker or anything like that, like you would see in an urban legend or almost like Valentine or something. I did feel like there was touches of other slasher movies that Eli Roth pulled from. Like I felt a lot of My Bloody Valentine, the remake, in this. I was like, oh, that's kind of almost messing with that, you know, with like this love triangle thing, just the way that things are like kind of played out, especially how the ending is. I'm not going to give anything away, no spoilers in this, but I was like, oh, that's very My Bloody Valentine, and they do kind of leave it open-ended for a sequel, and I hope we do get a sequel. This movie's getting hella marketing right now, so I hope this is very successful. It's not a perfect movie, and but I want to warn you before I start talking about this. I am not hating on the movie. I think this is a solid slasher. I think it's fun. It's up there with some of the best. But there are some editing choices. There's some transition scenes of like going from one scene to the next that was kind of jarring. That I was kind of like, whoa, wait, we were just right there, but now we're right here. How did that character get from point A to point B, and then all this has occurred within that short amount of time? That, you know, like I might be overthinking it, but it was like a little time span. I was like, okay, well, there must be two killers, right, or something, you know. And when you watch it, maybe you'll feel the same way. And I was just kind of like, I was like, what? I see what he's trying to do here, but it just there's parts in the movie that just like from scene to scene that don't flow right. Does that make sense? And that's me nitpicking because I love the filmmaking. I've always wanted to be a horror filmmaker, and hopefully one day I can direct my own horror movie. But that's just me nitpicking. You know, there could be some deleted scenes that didn't make the cutting room floor. No pun intended. But this is a really cool concept. Like the killer's making this whole entire table, and everybody's name is at the table, and he's like killing off his victims, and you know, everything. You already know that it's kind of like from like a Black Friday from the year before, and something tragic happens, and then so like a year later they're just trying to move on with their lives, this little small town, and the killer has struck again, and you don't know who it is. It's kind of just like a whodunit. It is a whodunit, but the kills, everybody keeps talking about the kills of this movie, and they are good. You get some really good gore, some carnage candy. That's what Eli Roth likes to do. But there are some things that are kind of cartoony, or kind of like, that doesn't make sense, or that doesn't look right on film in certain aspects. It doesn't downgrade the movie really at all, because there's some really badass kills as well, but there are some that are just kind of like, whoa, how does physics work in that situation? You know what I mean? Like, you start overthinking it, and in those instances I'm kind of like, I wish they would have scaled back a little bit and took itself a little bit more serious in the killing department, you know. But Eli Roth is very out there with it, and in places where it goes, and kind of like, ooh, that's like really, really cringy. Like it gets under your skin. You know, there's some gross out moments, but it's really cool. I hope there's an unrated or director's cut of this, because I bet you Eli Roth has some badass like shit that could not make it to theater cut, you know. So I really want to see that, because I bet you they can get really, really gross, because there were certain things I was like, okay, so they're stopping right there. But another con I want to say about this movie, and I'm not spoiling anything, and if you've seen the movie, great, no spoilers down in the comments, please. I will block you. But if you haven't seen the movie, maybe you'll pick up on this, but like where the movie ends up and who it is and why it is, there's a scene that stuck out in my mind. Because I'm telling you, when I'm watching these whodunits, I'm like a hawk. I am trying to figure it out, you know, and normally I can figure it out. And there's a scene that if this person was the killer, there's no way that other scene makes sense, because it was like the person, I'm not going to say he or she, was in two places at once. There's no way. Maybe a lot of people haven't picked up on it, but if you rewatch it, I'm pretty sure you will. But I remember in my mind, that's where I kind of check marked off in my brain that person is not the killer because of this scene right here. It wouldn't make sense. But by the end of the movie and the reveal and everything, it was like, oh, it is, unless there's two. And so it just kind of like little stuff like that, like the editing, there's certain choices that I'm kind of like, ooh, I wish they would have done that different, or that a little bit different. It's cool though. One thing that I do say that this movie has going for it is the group of characters that we're following are, for the most part, likable or serviceable. They're not like this like annoying type of crowd. Like some slasher movies, you can get like those annoying characters and lines and stuff like that. There's some really funny and unique humor moments in this movie, and I think that works for it. So it's almost like a horror comedy, but it isn't. It's like a dark horror comedy, I guess you would say, if that's a thing. But there's just certain things that I'm kind of like, oh, why did you make that choice? Another con that I'm talking about, and I feel like I'm losing my voice here. I don't know if I'm getting sick or what, but there's a scene close to the end where the killer is chasing a couple of people, and the killer, when you see it in the trailer where the killer is just coming at with the axe, you know, and he's coming at them very fast and like on the run, right? Well, it's like the killer, the characters that are running away from the killer bust through a door into another room, and it's like they pause for a second and they look around. They're like, "Where do we go?" And it's like the killer is like on your ass. Don't stop. Just keep running. And it's things like that that I'm kind of like transition from scene to scene that I'm kind of like, it doesn't flow right, okay? I'm gonna quit doing the snake, all right? But you know what I'm saying? Like, as a filmmaker, I'm kind of like, that doesn't make sense. Like if he was right there on your ass, you wouldn't stop for that pause. You know, you would just keep on running and struggling. And it's little things like that that I'm kind of like, oh man, like. And there might be deleted scenes that, you know, that didn't make it, that could make it make more sense. I don't know. These are just some of the cons. It doesn't break the movie. The movie is a lot of fun. It's a Thanksgiving movie. We finally got a Thanksgiving slasher movie. Something to look forward to every Thanksgiving, just like we do Halloween. And I think Eli Roth did a badass job. This was a lot of fun. It was gross. It was fun. It was funny. It will keep you guessing, and that's a pro that I would say for the movie, is that you ever notice that some slasher movies, some whodunits, you know, they have these red herrings, right? And you know, like almost anybody could be it, but they kill off the red herring too early, so it's like, well, it can't be that person. This movie doesn't do that. The most people that are red herrings make it to the end of the movie, so you're still kind of in your mind, you're like second guessing yourself, like it could be either one of these people because they're all been red herrings throughout the movie. So it's like props to Eli Roth to do that, because a lot of slasher movies don't remember to do that, I guess, or not, the writers aren't smart enough to write it like that. But you know, that's one thing that I did like about it. Anyways, this was a badass movie. Any of those cons I was telling you about, don't let it, you know, knock it to where you don't go see this. Go make this movie some money. Go to the theaters to see it. Have a fun time. The Halloween season was just revving up, and this right here was like a pleasant surprise. I hope Patrick Dempsey does more horror. He was great as Detective Kincaid in Scream 3. I hope we get him in Scream 7 as Sidney's husband coming back, you know, and you know, fingers crossed. That would be really awesome, especially to fill that void of Dewey being missing now. So yeah, anyways, I love you guys. Badass slasher whodunit. Go see it. Let me know what you think about it after you see it. Come back, put your comments down in the comment section below. No spoilers. Do you feel the same way that I do, or am I overthinking it? Let me know. I really want to have a discussion about this. Probably do a live stream later on this weekend, discussing the movie in more depth after people have seen it. I love y'all. I'll see you later. Subscribe to Destination Station, and I'll see you guys when I see you guys. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.